Previous video, I went to my friend Dave's machine shop and had my knives hardness tested. I just heat treated them a few different ways with the steel I knew I was going to try to use just to kind of dial in a process to make a knife that I'm comfortable with selling that I know is going to work. So I got the scientific part down, I guess, for the heat treat, and I've gotten better with the handles as far as wood handles and everything. And I have, as of today, tried out this new style of handle. Basically what I did was I did some flour cast resin and cut that into scales and mounted that on here. Now, it seems very, very robust. I didn't finish it up yet because what I'm going to do now is go do some actual practical testing where I'm going to take this knife and basically play with it for an hour or so. So I got it sharp. Mostly what I'm testing here is edge retention and to see if it gets chips or anything. If it's too hard, maybe I need to temper it a little more. Sharpness test. Things really sharp. Doesn't really have a problem cutting through the paper. I don't even need to slide it really. It kind of sort of glides, but really, really sharp. I don't imagine it's going to stay like that by the time I'm done, but if it can at least come close to cutting it, even if it is a little rough, I'll consider that decent edge retention. So I'm not going to do any crazy torture tests like cutting nails or anything like that, because like I said, I'm just trying to get a regular use idea how this thing's going to hold up. I'm also curious how these entirely epoxy handles are going to hold up, because while I've used it to glue handle scales on it, I've never made handle scales entirely out of epoxy. But if this works out, it'll open up a lot of different options for me and also tell me if my specific process and brand of epoxy is going to work for this kind of stuff. So anyways, I'm just going to grab out some of that, maybe do some other stuff, and I'll bring back in. I'm basically taking different sections of this blade and hammering them 5 times into this fairly thick branch. I'm not trying to cut it all the way through, but I am trying to evenly wear this edge real quick. I did chop up a bunch of smaller branches before I did this, like this isn't super scientific, but I think what I'm going to do is just keep doing this up and down the edge and testing it over and over again, kind of getting an idea of when it starts to dull. I'm probably going to do this 2 more times. Now, that's not really a practical thing you do with a knife anyways, but kind of giving you an idea. Okay, so towards the tip. I'm trying to find where the burr is. One specific spot. There we go. It's like right here. Like right around here somewhere is kind of hanging up on it. I can't really see any visible damage, so maybe I just didn't apex that properly because I didn't hand grind these bevels. This knife is actually still able to shake me a little bit. Ow. Not as well as before. I didn't show you that, I guess, but before it was like a freaking razor. Look at that, no problem. Obviously, because that's fresh off the strop, it's easy. But yeah, so this. If you're enjoying the video so far, you should consider liking and subscribing. Maybe I'll show you how to make one of these nifty little vampire pokers. I have it in there and I'm smacking the back of these handle scales, trying not to hit the metal part because I want to see what the handle scales can do and just kind of getting an idea. So I've been doing this for a good bit now. Now I'm going to pull it out. Also give me some good edge wear probably. That looks okay. Slightly less than it did. Now dirt's got a lot of yucky rocks in there. You know what, I'm going to barehand this for a little bit, just kind of get an idea of hot spot and such. This is the original cut piece I found, actually, which, oh, you're not going to be able to see that on the front-facing camera. There's not any fuzzies. I just want to make this. Switching the camera. So
It's like a clean line. It looks more like these uninterrupted lines, you know? And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, after everything's been done, I'm gonna go ahead and do one more cut test so I can show you the difference in what I was looking at. And it does still cut paper, it's just the quality of the cut's not quite as good as it was when I first started. So here's a knife, I wiped it off, but that was a good one, or a good one for demonstration. It was actually a bad one, but these on that cut, these little fibers, because it didn't cut it perfectly. So that's what's telling me that it did indeed dull after a while. So, but it lasted a lot longer than I expected it to, and I can honestly say this lasted a lot longer than any knife I think I've ever bought from the store. Now, these, I've made a lot of knives like on forged leaf springs and stuff, and this is the first time I've really tried to make one that was like, I knew everything about the steel. And yeah, the thing held up really, really well. Like I said, this is my first time trying the fully epoxy handles, and I'm having really good luck with it. These things held up really good. Tested the handle comfort. It doesn't seem to want to roll too much, maybe a little bit more than I would like. What I should probably do next time, and I can still do this, I can probably drill these pins out and make shorter ones, but I should have like a palm swell, if you know what that is. It's like where the center kind of bulges out a little bit. It'll hold it in my palm center a little more. This is a fairly chunky handle, and that definitely helps, but I could also lose some of the chunk on the handle if I just had a palm swell and kind of more deliberate design with the handle. This is just supposed to be kind of a rounded, basic handle shape. You can do a lot with a knife handle, but anyways, I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. I am going to go ahead and finish polishing all this thing off, filling all the bubbles in this, finishing the handle up, and making a sheath. We're gonna make a sheath first though, because this is like a camping hiking knife, so I don't want to might work as a kitchen knife. Love it. Oh, this is kind of flaky came up with, or like a lot of the guidance, I guess, came from a YouTube channel called Outdoors 55. I'll link the 2 specific videos that I think probably educated me the most, I guess. If knife making is something you're into, I don't understand it to the degree that this guy does, so it's definitely better to just refer you to him if you want good information. I was just, after one specific thing, but the guy's got tons of videos on just edge retention, how to sharpen a knife, just different things like that, how to remove a burr, like when you're sharpening, a lot of little like detail things with knives that you don't really get on other channels. So yeah, I'll link those 2 videos. One of them was about hardness and tempering and everything on the steels, and then the other one I believe was about edge geometry. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you do, please consider liking and subscribing. It really, really helps. Other than that, have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. God bless.